The governor's allocation of resources to address this really significant problem here on the northwest side of the city and in the city of Milwaukee generally. The $15 million that Governor Evers will provide will allow us to demolish this structure. The property in question, Northridge Mall, is a danger. It has been a danger for a number of years. It continues to be a danger for our firefighters as well as for trespassers on this property. It's a deteriorating building that drags down the neighborhood, that drags down economic development opportunities here on the northwest side in the 9th Aldermanic District and on Brown Deer Road. So I look forward to finally solving the safety as well as the blight issues that are associated with this property. Now, you may know this, but we remain in court with the property owner. So out of respect for that process as it continues to play out, there are some questions we may not be able to fully address here today. The property owner remains in contempt of court as well, and there is a raise order that's currently on appeal. This has been a long process, a really long process that's been some years in the making. It is tested, it really has tested the patience of a lot of folks. It's tested the patience of elected officials, it's tested the patience of emergency responders, and it certainly has tested the patience of the individuals who live over in this neighborhood. And with the help of Governor Tony Evers, we're taking a huge step forward. And we're going to do that by using federal resources that have been provided by the administration of President Joe Biden for this location to spring new opportunity in the future. So with that, I want to recognize some of the folks that we have with us. That includes Alderman Mark Chambers from the 2nd Aldermanic District, as well as Alderman Lamont Westmoreland from the 5th Aldermanic District. We've got some other city staff as well from the Department of City Development and others. At this time, though, I'd like to bring up to the mic Alderwoman Larresa Taylor, who represents the 9th Aldermanic District. Alderwoman.
So thank you very much. I'd like to also, again, say thank you for the collaborative efforts and support that has gone into making this day possible, where we can actually make this announcement of receiving the funds needed to get rid of this blight in our district. So with that, I'd like to just say thank you to Mayor Johnson, and thank you for all the support from the other mayors, as he's mentioned before. Alderman Chambers and Alderman Westmoreland, as well as our city departments DCD and DNS, because this day only came about because of the collaborative efforts. It's a much needed thing to help our community so that we get rid of this blight. So thank you so much for coming out and helping us to get this word out that we are actually moving in a positive direction with getting rid of this stain on our district.
Great, thank you. And thank you for also mentioning the fact that the Department of Neighborhood Services is here represented as well. I appreciate the department's efforts along with the Department of City Development and others. We're happy to take a couple of questions, those that we can answer now. I can't answer all the questions directly myself. We have some more subject matter experts who are here who will be able to field some of those questions that we're able to answer, considering that there is still some legal implications related to the property.
Do you think the $15 million would cover the demolition and site prep and everything? What would that take you?
Our hope is that the $50 million will put us in a strong position to demolish the structure. Absolutely. Perhaps maybe Vanessa or others maybe have some other information about whether or not that would help with site prep and the like, but certainly demolishing the structure.
Good afternoon. To answer that question, so we'll need to demolish the structures behind us, do asbestos abatement, and then do some site work, and then a utility realignment. So we're hoping the money can manage all of that.
Benji.
So Benji Tim with the Department of City Development.
And can someone clarify, since the city only technically owns a portion of the building, does $15 million go toward just demolishing that portion or the entire property? Do you have to kind of wait to see how all this court stuff works out?
So again, there's a legal ramifications that are part of this as well. So I think we'll probably hold off on answering those parts of the questions right now. But we certainly do have some funding already allocated to demolish the part that the city already owns, the Boston store.
With this ARPA funding, are there strings attached because the future of the property is in limbo? So if this is played out again and again, as we've seen with this raise order and the court findings, if it can't be demolished, let's say there's a ruling in the court that is not advantageous to the city, what happens?
What happens with what exactly? If the
$15 million allocated by the governor through ARPA funds.
I would imagine that they would find some repurposing for those dollars if it were not able to happen. But our goal, and I think the governor's goal as well, is to put us in a position where we are able to use those funds for the purpose that had been outlined.
Mayor, you talked about this testing your patience and those of other city leaders. It's going to take a little more patience to see this fully realized. What's the timeline? What would you like to see here, ideally?
Again, we're in court with the property owner, so that process has to flush itself out, and so certainly, again, it's tested my patience, it's tested the patience of others. You're right, we do have to continue to be a little bit more patient as that process continues to make its way through the legal system.
A lot of people have studied next uses. What's your latest thought? If you get the raise done, the tearing down, what's your thought about what might work here?
Well, right now, I want to focus in on the fact that this has been a blighted eyesore on the northwest side of the city of Milwaukee. It has dragged down the entire city of Milwaukee, in fact. And that's what I want to put my focus on right now, is working to make sure that we address the issue at hand.
Question for the alders, if they wouldn't mind. What are some of your constituents telling you about this property, how it's impacting them? Are people used to this? Are people tired of this?
Well, I'm just going to say from the 9th District that residents are ready to see something actually happen. And so the more that I talk to them, the more I get the comments of what's going on over there. What are you guys going to do about it? And so that's why this day is extremely important, so that residents know, and what you guys are doing is very important right now too, to let residents know that that we are moving forward and that we are starting to do something, and that is to get rid of this blight.
Could someone give some insight as to kind of how conversations began with the governor's office to get to this point? Was there a lot of proactive work on your end? Were there a lot of questions from his office to get here?
Yeah, certainly. I mean, I think that Governor Tony Evers has been an excellent steward of the American Rescue Plan Act, dollars that are within his purview to disperse and to communities across the state of Wisconsin. He certainly has done that, getting those dollars out to communities all across the state. The desire to get the mall taken down came from me and my administration, and using ARPA dollars from the state was a request that we submitted to the governor to do that. Because, as I mentioned, this has been a blight. It's been a public safety problem. It's been an eyesore in the city of Milwaukee for more than 20 years. More than 20 years, and people have died in this building, and it's had an economic toll on the northwest side and the city as a whole. And so we sought an opportunity to work in collaboration, to work in partnership with Governor Tony Evers and his administration to get some movement on this property, and that's exactly what happened. So it was outreach on our part, and it was a willing partner in the governor to make this happen. And we're very grateful to Governor Tony Evers for it.
Mayor, speaking of ARPA money, today Journal Sentinel article about some concerns on a timeline for money for the Office of Wellness, Community Wellness and Safety. Do you have concerns about those timelines or losing some of that money if it's not used?
This is part of the reason why we made some of the changes in the Office of Community Wellness and Safety, and we'll be working over the course of the next year, obviously, to get those dollars out of the door. And I've got a lot of confidence in the Department of Administration, where the office is placed now, to be able to do just that.
So is the headline on this, we've got, city has $15 million if it gets a quote go-ahead, I mean, something like that?
Yes.
You got it in, you have it in the wallet, the city's wallet now, but there's hurdles yet.
Yeah. I mean, there's still the legal challenges that we are actively working through. And look, I mean, you can see all of you have been following this story for as long as it's been out there. This has tested the patience of a lot of folks that I've mentioned. It's also tested the patience of folks who make decisions in the courthouse as well. There just has not been the movement that any of us in this community would have liked to see. And it's caused the public safety challenges. It's been a blight for as long as it has been. And I think that folks are ready to move to the next chapter.
I know you didn't want to talk too much about future uses, but there was a proposal this summer to convert this in some way, perhaps sell it, and the administration wasn't in favor of that, correct?
That is correct.
So that's something that you don't want to see. Is there any more you can give us on just ideas? Is it housing? Is it commercial?
You know, I mean, we'll be open to what future possibilities are. I think we're interested in seeing the highest and best use for this place. And by the way, I think that the people who live in this neighborhood, the people who live in the city, who have suffered through this blight, suffered through this public safety nuisance, they deserve something more than what was proposed. And that's, I think, what we want to see here for Northridge in the future.
Thank you, everybody.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.